welcome back to another Leo the Weather Nerd weather forecast. And in this video, we're going to be taking a look at the next fall front this week, which is going to bring a reinforcing shot of some fall-like air with cooler temperatures and lower humidity. And then we're going to take a quick look at the tropics towards the end of the video. But of course, it's still summer, so we'll take a look at the mosquito meter. But it looks like there will be either a medium or high amount of mosquitoes depending on your location if you're near a body of water. But it goes to show that the number of bugs are dwindling as the temperature slowly cools, so that's going to be another thing to look forward to. But anyways, tomorrow's lows are going to be anywhere from the upper 50s if you're in the Piedmont or southern Appalachians of North Carolina, and you could see anywhere from low 60s to low 70s everywhere else. And we'll look at the highs now. The highs are what's really going to be cooler than average. And since we still have a little bit of humidity in the air, that's why the morning temperatures are still warm, but at least the afternoons are pretty nice. And most of the area, which would be the Western Carolinas and North Georgia, except northwestern Georgia, we'll see some 70s, and then everyone else will still be nice with low to mid 80s possible for tomorrow's high. So a great day to be outside, so make sure to take advantage of that tomorrow and today too. And if we look at the satellite right now, we have some high cirrus clouds flowing from west to east, and then if I'm correct, the sea breeze coming off the ocean from east to west. And these won't turn into shower or thunderstorm clouds, at least not likely. It's going to be a very small chance, but at most it would be a few light showers or drizzle. So nothing too impactful, and it's actually going to make it feel a little bit nicer because even the sun in the upper 70s can still be pretty warm. But as for that next fall front that we're going to get, we'll take a look at it right now with the dew point map. And by the way, if you don't know, dew points are kind of like humidity percentage, but more accurate to determine the amount of mugginess in the air. So anything below 65 is pretty nice. So kind of over here near Nashville at 65, and then south of there it's gets into the low 70s for dew points. So that's pretty muggy. But here in the Carolinas and Georgia, it's looking pretty nice right now with that backdoor cold front we got a few days ago. So it's nice and not very muggy at all, unless you're along the coast tomorrow, which the humidity will return over there by the coast. But most of our area is going to be pretty nice either way. And then that next fall front is going to be appearing on the map, which is this, and I'll be using an analogy for this, which I'll get to in a moment. So the way I like to think about this, and it's pretty easy to remember, is that you could think as a cold front as a broom. So that will be better explained in a few seconds. But this is the cold front right here in the Ohio Valley. You could think as this as a broom, and I'll try my best to draw it out. So there's your broom, and I'll try to take this red off over here by the coast. But you think that is the broom, and then I'll try color that stands out. I think I've just did white. But you could think as the muggy air, which is starting to appear again as dust on your dirty floor. Let's say that's that. And we'll think of all these specks as dust. I'm trying my best. I do not have a mouse, and I'm trying to do my best with the trackpad, I think is what it's called. And anyways, back to the weather. Like I said, there's your broom, your dust, and if you think about when you broom your dirty floor, the broom pushes all that dust away, and it compiles as it does so until you put it into a dustpan. And you could You could think, I guess, as the dustpan as the ocean. So, um, I guess that can be it. But as this cold front approaches our area, it really cleans out the air and brings some nice dew points. 40s for dew points is pretty dry. And back to the analogy, if you think about it, you push all that dust away and accumulates, but then once you put it all into a dustpan, your floor is nice and clean. And that's what's going to happen here. The cold front is going to push away all of this humidity, and it's going to leave us with a nice air mass or a clean floor. And it's going to stay like that for quite a while. But unfortunately, it does not get to the coast or central and south Georgia, as well as the western Carolinas and north Georgia. But either way, all of us are going to be cooler, and my battery saver just turned on. But all of us are going to be cooler either way, whether it's, and I'll take everything back off, whether it's sunny but cooler or muggy and cloudy. So I guess either way we'll take it, because last week's 90s were definitely not very pleasant. But then we'll just wait until the humidity comes back, and then another cold front comes in. But it looks like it's going to stay nice for quite a while. This goes until the 14th, and the European model is showing nice conditions through that outlook, but it gets pretty far. So we'll look at the expert forecast, which is this. This is the 6 to 10 day temperature probability outlook, which shows how likely it is you are warmer or cooler than average from the 9th to the 13th. In this case, shows that most of the eastern United States is going to be quite nice and cool, with the exception of Florida, of course, which is too far south to get cold fronts this time of year. And that's going to come with either drier conditions, which I mentioned a few minutes ago. If you're behind the cold front, and cooler, it's still going to be cooler, but it's going to be rainier south of that cold front. So a relief from the heat nonetheless. And this is going to, there's another forecast which goes from 8 days to 14 days from now, or the 11th to the 17th. It shows still a little cool pocket of air across our area, specifically, actually, with most of the United States being warmer than average, as indicated by the warm colors. So it's going to stay nice for a long, long time, and got to make sure you enjoy it, because it will only be a matter of time before the weather balances out and we warm up again. But at least we have a good bit to enjoy this weather. And the only thing is, though, that it's going to start to become rainier again through that period in mid-month. So just something to keep an eye out for. But looking to the tropics now, this is going to be pretty quick, because even though there are 3 areas to watch, all of them have a low chance. So you have this one off of Africa, which, if I put my mouse on, has only a 20% chance at most through the next 7 days of developing. We got another one which only is 10% through the next week. And then this one in the Caribbean, which has kept many meteorologists' eyes, including mine, but the chances have really dropped off, and it's only at 30%. So we'll look at the ensembles, which is a collection of different variations of current conditions. At least is how I define it, but we'll take a look at that in a moment. And if we look at the satellite, we have those waves. This shows the brighter colors, or the warmer colors like the reds and the blacks, is higher and colder cloud tops, which indicates strong storms. And you need strong storms for a tropical wave to become something tropical, like a tropical storm. And by the way, there's this area off of Texas, which has not been highlighted. It actually was a few days ago, but now the National Hurricane Center doesn't think it will become anything anymore. But it's still out there, so we'll have to keep an eye on it. But then we have the one in the Caribbean, which is almost basically nothing. It's a few showers, and that little speck might be a little thunderstorm, but it's very disorganized, and dry air has really ate up all of the convection. Then we have that tropical wave near the Azores, if I'm correct. And none of these are looking very impressive at all. Maybe the one here in the middle, which is this one, is a little bit better, but none of these look like they will develop at all. And the reason is because of that dry air, but what's not going to be inhibiting these becoming anything, if it does win out over the dry air, is the very, very warm temperatures on the sea surface, which this is in Celsius, but these temperatures are the equivalent of mid-80s, low to mid-80s, so bathtub water basically. And now to those ensembles. This is the American collection of models, and there will be lots of L's because this even thinks the non-tropical lows are tropical, so it's going to get really messy really quick. But we have that area in the Caribbean, which it shows, most of the members show this becoming something, but something very weak, and then heading west into Mexico, maybe heading up north, but it's not showing something very strong at all. Then we have the two between Africa and the Lesser Antilles, which also shows a good bit of the members showing this develops, so a pretty good chance that this develops, but not into anything strong. And then if we look at the European ensembles, this has more L's because there are more different scenarios on how this could happen, and this is a little bit less biased and won't show as many L's for non-tropical things, but either way, it's going to be lots of lines and L's everywhere, so it's going to get messy still. But that one in the Caribbean shows, the model showed this becoming to something still weak for the most part, heading north, and this is as far out as it goes, but it shows it going north, maybe into the Gulf Coast, but not something very strong. And then there's the farthest east one, has a good chance of developing, but heading out to sea. And this model is not showing the one just next to it developing into anything, but then something else off of the coast of Africa becoming something, but heading out to sea as well. So not very optimistic on any of these developing or even becoming anything strong. So good news for us, because it's almost the peak of hurricane season. So for it to be this quiet is pretty good, but it might be a sign of things to come. So we'll keep an eye on it, but nothing too concerning right now, which is good news for sure. And one last thing I want to leave y'all off on is that the American Meteorological Society, I think is what it's called, is going to host a weather fest at the GSP airport. So if you live in the upstate of South Carolina, you'll be able to make the drive on October 5th. It's going to be from 10 to 2, and there's going to be meteorologists, emergency responders, local media like local news outlets. It's going to be a weather balloon launch, which is going to be pretty cool, fun kids activities, and then of course food trucks to make sure you don't go hungry during the event. So it's going to be pretty cool. Make sure to mark your calendars. And if you love the weather, you just want something to do in October, that'll be something cool to come. I should be there, 99% sure, of course, unless something comes up, but I probably would be there, and I'd be excited if I get to see some viewers there too. And that's it. That's my weather report, and thanks for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe, which helps my channel and means a lot to me. And I'll see you all in the next weather forecast. Bye bye, everyone.